I think that a lot of us are dying inside because we're not creating. And you need to figure out what it is that you have come to create. Because it's just gonna raise your vibration, you know? And when you raise your vibration, you're gonna raise the vibration of everyone who comes in contact with you and that thing that you do. And there is someone who is waiting for you to shine your light so that they can shine theirs. And that's how important you are, and that's how much you matter. And it's not a joke. This is the real deal. It's serious, right? You chose to come here to planet Earth, and you have a path and you have a purpose. And so it's time for you to start fulfilling your purpose if you have not. If you are fulfilling your purpose and you're on your path and you are doing the things that make you happy, congratulations. Because there's a lot of us that are not. A lot of us have not started because we are fearful. So you want to know more about how to find your purpose without losing yourself? The way that we start to tune in to our passions, to our gifts, to our talents, to our purpose is to do just that. Tap in to your gifts. What gifts do you naturally have? Right? Because if you think about it, why would the Creator give you a gift if you weren't supposed to use it and share it, right? Everybody has a gift. Everybody was born with a gift. Everybody has talents. And these gifts and these talents were given to you for a very specific purpose. I, believe that very specific purpose has to do with your purpose. And when we just start to look at some of those things that we can naturally do, when we start to look at what are those things that get you super excited, you know what I mean? So what brings you the most joy? What could you do all day, even if you never got paid for it? What makes you so happy that when you do it, you come alive, you feel this energy that's running through your body, and you're like, oh, this feels so good. I could do this all day. What is it? And if you don't know, it's okay, right? You just have to start to figure it out. And the sooner, the better. What interests you? Maybe you haven't figured out what your talents are or what your gift is, but maybe you're like super interested in an idea. Maybe there's some type of idea that you have that's kind of like been floating around in your mind, but you haven't taken the time to actually explore it or investigate it. Because usually when those type things happen for us, that is the Creator giving you a sign or a symbol that will lead you on your path. You know what I mean? And so the moment you start to go explore it, that thing or idea, it might not be what your purpose is, but it might lead you to your purpose. And all you have to do is just take the first step, you know? And I know for me, like when I was a little girl, I was always into reading. And then from reading, I got into writing. And I would write poetry. And then from the poetry, it turned into rhymes. And then into music. And now, you know, I have a band, Eat the Cake Band, right? And I've been making music majority of my life. Because music to me is it's my therapy, you know? And it's a way, I know that I'm a natural creator. I believe everyone is a natural creator. We're all co-creators. We're all co-creating right now. So it's like, what is it that you want to help create? What is it that what did you come to do on planet Earth to co-create? You know, that vision that was given to you, and for you, for whatever reason, you know, you haven't tapped into that yet. Or maybe you have. Maybe you're doing it, you know? And so you're on your path and you're fulfilling your purpose. And I don't think there's no right or wrong. You know, I think it's just a matter of what makes you happy, what brings joy. Because what makes you happy and what brings you joy, you will then inspire the person next to you or the person that's across the world, because now we have the internet. And they see you do that thing and it sparks this thing within them. So now it's just a bunch of us sparking each other, you know, and it's inspiring, it's enlightening, it's fun, it's happening, and it's creative. I don't think that we came here not to create. I think that a lot of us are dying inside because we're not creating. And you need to figure out what it is that you have come to create, because it's just gonna raise your vibration, you know. And when you raise your vibration, you're gonna raise the vibration of everyone who comes in contact with you and that thing that you do. And there is someone who is waiting for you to shine your light so that they can shine theirs. And that's how important you are, and that's how much you matter. And it's not a joke. This is the real deal. It's serious, right? You chose to come here to planet Earth, and you have a path and you have a purpose. And so it's time for you to start fulfilling your purpose if you have not. If you are fulfilling your purpose and you're on your path and you are doing the things that make you happy, congratulations. Because there's a lot of us that are not. A lot of us have not started because we are fearful. Fear will keep you from doing what you came to do. But fear is only an illusion. It's not even real. You know how they say, fear, forget everything and run. Fear, false evidence appearing real. You know what I mean? And so whatever you're more fearful of, that's the thing that you should be rushing to. Go right to it. You know, like the boogeyman with the Freddy. Remember back in the day, Freddy Krueger? What made Freddy Krueger disappear? Only when you turned around and faced him and you weren't afraid. That's when he melted. It was like, damn, he couldn't do nothing about it. And it's the same thing with everything that we come to know in this life. Whatever makes you afraid and you're afraid to do it, and there's some type of fear there, that's kind of like an inkling for us to run to it, to see what that thing is. Because behind that thing could be your saving grace, right? And then you also feel better. You feel good about yourself because you face that thing. And there's a gift behind it. So, you know, some of us are afraid to jump out there, and maybe you've always wanted to paint, but you haven't. Maybe you've always wanted to make music, but you haven't. Maybe you always wanted to design clothes or write a book or create a game or be a business owner. I mean, there's so many things. You always wanted to sing. Whatever that thing is that you've always wanted to do and that's always interested you, and when you see someone else do it, or you know, and you get excited about it, or maybe you haven't seen anyone do it so you don't know what to do, that's when I encourage you to go within. I'm always a big advocate for meditation, because I feel like when you meditate and you are still, you know, that is when God, the angels, spirit guides, whatever you believe, higher power, will give you downloads, give you the signs and the symbols that will put you on your path. And all you have to do is be present. And that's why it's called present, because it's a gift. And it's also a practice because it's not easy to stay present. It's very easy for us to slip back into time where we're thinking about the past or we're worrying about the past, right? And the more and more you worry about the past, things that you cannot change, the more and more you slip into depression. Some of us are more focused on the future, things that haven't happened yet. And the more and more you focus on the future, you worry on the future. I won't say focus on the future. The more and more you worry about the future, things that have not happened yet, that's when you become very anxious. That's when you deal with anxiety. But the moment you stop the madness, be still, focus on the present, right? Which is a gift. If you're focusing on the present, then you're not thinking about the past and you're not thinking about the future. You're just thinking about the now and what is happening right now. You know? Right now, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to this camera and I'm filming this episode of The Science of Peace. And I am fulfilling part of my purpose. Because I feel like my purpose is to help you remember who you are. It's to help you remember what you are. Because you are so powerful. You are so much light. You are a fractal of God. You know? And we forget when we come here to planet Earth because planet Earth is a low vibratory planet. And so a veil of amnesia comes upon us as we enter into this matrix. But that's part of the game. That's the part that we have to figure out. And the more and more we're present, the more that we are less distracted, the less likely we are distracted by all these other things that are happening that are happening. And when you have a purpose, when you know your purpose, that is how you kind of stay focused and you're not easily swayed either side because you have something to do. You know what I'm saying? You have something inside of you that makes you happy and keeps you alive, pumping, thriving. You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing to tap into. And it's very enlightening. It's inspiring. And it like, you know, when like I said, when you discover your gift and you share it, you don't just keep it to yourself and like, oh, I got this gift and nobody can see it, you know, but you got this gift and you start to share it, you know, and display it, show others. You are guaranteed to inspire someone else who sees you do the thing that you do. Because everyone has it within them. Everyone has that desire. Everyone has that passion. And sometimes we lose sight of that. We get caught up in this whole robotic 9-to-5 rat race world. We get caught up in all these other things that can be going on, all these other distractions, you know? And so don't let these things pass you by and you come into this world and you never fulfill your purpose, because then it's just like, oh, what was the purpose of that? Because before you came here, you said what you were going to do. Don't let fear discourage you. I believe that it's like 90% of the world is vibrating below fear, meaning that 90% of the world is operating in fear. Therefore, they will never achieve their dreams or pursue their dreams because of fear. Come on. Things got to change. And things are changing because people are waking up more and more. And I think COVID showed a lot of people. I think COVID woke up a lot of people, you know, and they realized what they were missing. You got gifts. Miracles happen every day. You are a walking miracle. You are a walking miracle. I am a walking miracle. Namaste. You know? And sometimes we forget that. Like, life is a miracle. Be present, be thankful, change if you're dealing with things that are not, of the highest vibration, find the silver lining in something, Like when I'm teaching the students that I work with within the detention center, I teach them entrepreneurship, financial literacy. It's one of my businesses. It's called The Science of Peace. And I prefer to work with this population because I feel like they have experienced so many hardships and trauma that it's a blessing for me to be in their presence, because they're still kicking it. They're still fighting. And sometimes they lose sight of their purpose, and they get swayed and they get put on different paths. But all of that too is part of your own design. Sometimes people have to go through so many different things, so many hardships to actually wake up and say, you know what, I'm sick of this. I don't want to do this no more. I want to do something different. And I feel like the more and more that you tap in to your superpowers, the more and more you will raise your vibration. And I feel like when you meditate and you be still and you get those messages from those downloads from the higher power, that will also help you and direct you on your path and put you in a firm place of power, because now you have this gift and you tapped into it, you discovered it, and maybe you have multiple gifts. It's abundant. You are abundant. You are unlimited in your potential. And so, how do you find your purpose? I encourage you to go towards what makes you excited. What gets you excited about life? What could you do all day long and never receive a dime for it? And I do believe that at times you can take your passion and your purpose, and when you turn it into a job, it's not as fun anymore. It kind of loses its fizzle. So I know that there's a lot of people who say, turn your passion into your job and make money off of it. To a certain extent, but sometimes that can fizzle you out. Sometimes it's not about making the money off of it, but it's really about just bringing you back to the present and giving you some space from all of the things that are going on in the world, and allowing you to shine so that others can shine too, So I hope that this brought you some value, added any value to you. If you like some of the things that I'm talking about, please subscribe. The Science of Peace. If you want me to talk about something specifically, please drop it down in the comments and let us know as well. What is your passion and what is your purpose? How did you discover it? Thank you for joining me. My name is Ms. N to the Z to the Z. Peace, and I'm out. I am